So, how was your week, Tasha?
My week was pretty normal.
You sound so sick.
Shut the fuck up. How dare you? I am sick, as a matter of fact. But damn. Sheesh, just like throw me under the bus already. But yeah, I am sick, of course. It was awful on Thursday. Friday we didn't have school, so that was lovely.
That's good.
Monday we also don't have school for President's Day. But I will be babysitting my nieces. Anyways, so Thursday, I felt like a pile of crap in the very beginning of the morning. I wanted to curl up and die temporarily. But yeah, that's how I felt in the morning. But as the day progressed, I started feeling better.
Okay. And now you're feeling okay, just stuffy.
Now I'm feeling fine, just a little bit stuffy, yes. I'm also tired because it is past 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And we've been drinking.
We have been drinking. So this might be the tipsy episode of Dreams.
We had game night for the first time in, I don't know, a month and a half, almost 2 months, something like that.
Yep.
It was good. It was good to see everyone again and get all that done.
It was very nice. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed D&D. I was DMing, and I was pretty prepared today, so that was nice.
Yeah. I was hoping that you'd throw NPCs at me because I really wanted to be like, what's his name?
Oh, I know you were. I know you were. I was anticipating that.
What is their backstory?
But there was only one guy, so
yeah.
And he didn't ask him much. I don't
because I wasn't even in the room with him.
Oh yeah, that's true. But then he joined the party, but then it was an immediate fight.
Yeah, and then we ended right after that fight. So
yeah.
Anyway, enough about our D&D session.
Ghosts of the Salt Marsh campaign.
I do want to tell you though, I had the most awful experience this week.
Oh no!
It hurt my soul in a way that I don't think I'll ever recover. So,
are you being serious?
I was driving for Uber.
All right.
And I had this girl in my car. We were just, we were talking, we were shooting the shit. And I told her I used to work for Blockbuster. And she dead-faced looked at me and said, "What is that?"
Oh my gosh. You're so old that people don't know what Blockbuster is, man. My God.
I know that she was at least 20. So I don't know how she could not know what Blockbuster was. I mean, it's only been gone for 12 years? Oh, damn. Okay, anyway. Yeah, she said, and I literally burst out laughing. But it was that existential crisis laugh, And then I was like, "I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you. This is just horrible to think about."
That is quite awful.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
I explained to her that it was a video store, that there was a time before streaming when you couldn't just look at things whenever you wanted to. You had to go to the store and then go, "I want to see this movie." And sometimes it just wasn't there.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes that building did not have it.
And you either had to pivot or you had to just go home disappointed.
And
talk to your family, I guess.
How are there people who don't know what that is? Damn, that is quite traumatizing, man. They don't even know the existence of your former job.
Yeah. Luckily, though, I had a 17-year-old boy in the car later.
Okay.
And I said, "Do you know what Blockbuster is?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, it was a video store, right?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, it was, but the way you said right made me not feel good."
So basically, your week has reinforced the fact that you are old.
And then he was talking about running track, and I said something, and I was like, "When you're out there just chopping," and I was like, "Wait, do you guys still say chopping? And he was like, yeah, we say that. I was like, okay. Because for a minute, I was like, this kid does not know what I'm saying. You're almost 40, man. Like, don't.
I don't think I've ever heard the word chopping.
Really? Oh, yeah. It was a thing we used to say about running all the time.
Running?
Yeah. When you were running, chopping.
So it's like a good thing?
Yeah. It's when you're running really fast.
Okay. That's chopping.
Yeah. So I'm ready to get into it if you are.
I'm ready.
Hit him with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What M Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with
Dustin.
And we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams, dreams, dreams.
And we're in person and in color.
Yeah.
For your viewing pleasure, except not really.
Pretty and bright over here.
I don't know about bright.
Rays of fucking sunshine right here.
Mm-hmm.
If you could only see.
Jeez. You know what talking about me being old? When you said that, I immediately thought of that song from Tonic. The one that goes, if you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you would understand.
It's...
If you could only see the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately thought that song and I was like, boy, let's go back to the 90s, why don't we?
That reminds me of a previous episode of which you talked about Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh, yeah?
Imbruglia?
Imbruglia.
Yeah. She was more prevalent than I thought she was.
Yeah. I mean, she only had one song that was really, really a hit, but she stuck around for a while. But she had that song Torn, and it was like the most popular song for at least a month.
Just 1 month out of the 12 in the 90s?
Yeah.
In the 90s? Oh my god, 12 times 10.
It's 120.
No kin math.
Well, 12 times 10 is 120.
That's too much math.
That is not too much math. That's simply adding a zero. That's all you're doing.
Over my head.
Anyway, every time I go to QT, they give me fucking straws.
You and your goddamn straws.
For sodas. They give them to me. I do curbside. I don't go in. I try not to go in anywhere anymore. That's one thing that the pandemic did to me. I never go into restaurants or not restaurants, to like shops anymore. Mm-hmm. The pandemic did that to me because they introduced curbside everywhere. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do curbside. And I still do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were definitely spoiled with pickup. So we order groceries, somebody in the store gathers it all for us, and then we sit in the parking lot and wait for them to deliver it to us and load it into the back of our car or truck or whatever we're driving. Super spoiled.
Yeah.
And apparently there's this thing that Walmart Plus or whatever, Walmart VIP Access, whatever the fuck, has where the Walmart employee can enter your home and load your shit into the fridge for you.
So I didn't know this about Walmart, but I had heard about this with Amazon. Like that Amazon had a thing where you could do that.
Okay.
But you have to opt into it, obviously.
Yeah.
You have to be like very trusting, I guess.
Right.
Because people were making fun of it back when Amazon started it, and it was like the Amazon delivery guy putting on my pajamas for me. Well, it was like, what are you doing?
I didn't see that. That's funny.
How'd you get in here? It's
part of you.
Talk to you about your extended warranty.
But yeah.
I don't think I could. First of all, I have a bigger dog, so I definitely couldn't have Walmart people just...
Yeah.
walk in.
We have lots of dogs, and I don't think we could let that happen either because of the dogs. Also because I don't trust people enough.
Yeah, that is also like a thing.
To enter my home, look into my refrigerator, and stalk my fridge. Like, my shit is dirty. More than half the time.
Although, I'm pretty sure if anybody broke into my house, they'd be like, what? We can't steal anything here. We should actually bring them shit.
Well, yeah, I'm like, I would not be prepared for it. Like, they would be concerned.
Yeah.
For our well-being because of the state of the house. Yeah.
I mean, but you have a nice house. You just have kids, you know?
Yeah, the kids who they just dirty up everything. Goddamn kids. Fucking ruin everything.
I mean, that's kids, man.
Just kidding.
They're gross.
I love them.
I loathe them. No, just kidding.
They are dirty, though, I will admit.
No, actually, your two boys gave me a hug again before they went to bed tonight, and I was just like, it's like, I guess this is a thing now. You know?
It's been a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought maybe they would just like stop doing it at some point, but no, it's an every time.
This is established. If they see Dustin here when they're going to bed, they got to give Dustin a hug.
It's not just me; it's Emily too.
It's everybody.
Or Brandon. Yeah, so it's like they're all like, oh yeah, they're basically like family.
They're adorable. When they first gave y'all hugs, it was out of the blue. I didn't expect it either. I thought it was so sweet.
Yeah, because I don't remember if it was Aiden or Julian. I think it was Julian first that did it.
Yeah.
And he walked over, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, okay.
Good night. Yeah. All right, so let me talk about one of my dreams.
All right.
And was it a dream? You guys, okay. I titled it Nestas. I can't even say it. It's not as ridiculous as fucking Dustin's last dream with the octopus. What? What was that?
I was looking for octopuses to give to some girl for her birthday, I guess.
Okay. So I titled it Nesta's Pet Hippo.
Oh, I did see the title, and I was like, I want to read this, but I'm not going to.
Okay. So I dreamt that Ernesto bought a new pet. And we lived in the old house for some reason. That was a detail that I remember. We lived in the old house, which was a rental, and which had white carpet. And we had significantly less space in this old house.
Yeah. A hippo is a bad decision all around in this place.
Just picture the suburbs. It's just like middle class to and less. So we didn't have much room. And he bought a pet fucking hippo. It's a hippo. Yes, it was a baby. But a baby hippo is still like the size of like a half a horse.
Well, I mean, smaller in like stature, but yeah.
Yeah, so imagine half a horse size goddamn hippo living in your room, in your fucking house, okay? The fucking thing, it would run around. Okay, so it was excitable, I guess, because it was a baby, as Aiden says it. My son, he calls babies babies, which I refuse to correct. I refuse to correct because it's the cutest pronunciation ever. Anyways, it was a baby hippo, and he was very excitable. So in my dream, I remember this hippo running around our living room in our old house. It's got to be like 20 by 10 foot living room.
Yeah.
And he's running into things, obviously, because it's a fucking hippo.
Yeah, because I mean, even if you've got a little bit of furniture in there, everything is getting hit.
Right, he's prancing around, doing his own little
Is he doing little ear wiggles?
Happy things with the ear wiggles and everything, little tails wobbling.
That's the thing I like about hippos, their little ear wiggles.
And he would just flip like a little acrobat. He would just like flip.
Damn.
Do a little head first tumble into whatever like desk or whatever, or like desk decorations things that we have hanging on the wall in our living room, and just knock everything over. So everything was destroyed every time he did his little happy flips. It was just a little baby flip. Like, to him, it was nothing. To us, it was catastrophic because, like, it would ruin an entire wall. On top of that, like, he had no control over his bladder or his poops.
Oh, okay.
So that would go everywhere.
Have you ever seen a hippo? I'm sorry, this is a tangent that I did not mean to take us on, but have you ever seen a hippo poop?
No, but I've heard about it. Tell the audience.
Their tails go in like a propeller, and they just splatter poop everywhere. And it's like, it's pooping constantly.
Right.
And the tail is basically swatting it away from them in every direction. That's how hippos poop.
Like a sewage helicopter.
Yeah. So before too long, you've got a Jackson Pollock on your wall.
I don't know what a Jackson Pollock is.
Okay, so Jackson Pollock was an abstract artist, painter, where he would do a lot of like splashes and splatters and things like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes, exactly that. So just picture that all over our house, our rental.
A poo Pollock.
And on our white carpet. Right? And it would be cleaned, okay? It would be cleaned as good as it could be cleaned. So I remember just seeing the hippo flop around and pee and poo everywhere. Okay? But then the next moment, I remember, like, just talking to Ernesto and being like, your hippo is shitting and peeing everywhere. It's destroying everything. At this point, and then I look at my parents, who are also in agreement with me. Like, Ernesto, you owe us a new carpet. At the very least. Because it's stained with browns and yellows. A myriad of browns and yellows.
A myriad, huh?
Because of your baby hippo. Ernesto was like, I guess you're right. I do owe you a new carpet. Yeah, I'm sure. So I was like, yeah, you fucking owe us a new carpet because you're fucking baby hippo. Okay. So, time passes and the hippo continues to do his thing. His little happy waddles and flops, pees and poos. Doesn't change anything. It's still a fucking catastrophe.
Yeah. It's still a hippo.
Of astronomical proportions. It's still a baby hippo in the suburbs. And at some point in my dream, time has passed, and I talked to Ernesto again. I'm like, Ernesto, you gotta get rid of this hippo. It's time to let it go. And he's like, I guess you're right. I have to sell the hippo. Yeah, I said, yeah, you gotta get rid of it. He's like, I gotta get rid of it. And so he decides to go ahead and put it on the internet and sell it. And he puts it on like eBay, where there are bidders. And so he accepts the highest bidder to take his baby hippo off of his hands. And we're like somewhat concerned with who the bidder is and what his intentions are, just a little bit. But our main concern is getting rid of it and getting it out of our house. And we're like, what kind of guy would want to buy a wild baby hippo from a guy who happens to be in the goddamn suburbs of a regular-ass town in America?
Just to point this out, your husband in this dream also bought a wild-ass hippo.
Well, yeah.
So that's the type of person that would buy a wild-ass hippo.
I mean, I guess. But yeah, that was only secondary to our main concern, which was getting it out of the house. And we're like, yeah, it's concerning that this guy actually wants to buy this. Like, who the fuck would want to buy a hippo? And we could see, like, his profile picture online. It was some guy with a beard and long blonde hair.
Oh.
Okay. That was a weird detail we remembered. And that's all I remember from that dream was him about to be selling. Like, Ernesto being forlorn about the idea of selling this hippo to this guy with long hair and a beard online. But yeah, he put a bid in, the only bid, and he was gonna buy the hippo soon. He's gonna come pick it up. That's all I remember from that dream.
I don't know why, but as soon as you said Nesto brought home a hippo and like he was peeing and pooping everywhere, I pictured in my head Nesto going, "Yeah, he's a fucking hippo." It's a fucking hippo. It just feels like Nesto, you know? It's like, yeah, it's a fucking hippo.
The fuck do you expect?
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah, man. That's a wild ass dream. Makes me wonder, like, you know, what it was that put hippos in your head. You know, like were you watching documentaries or like?
I might have watched. I don't know. I might have seen a video or something that was cute online right before I fell asleep. But what is on my mind recently are those fucking puppies that we're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid of. So we are trying to sell 10 more puppies.
Half German Shepherd, half
Presa Canario.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but okay.
But they look more like German Shepherds, so apparently if they're mutts mixed like this, you go with the breed that it looks like the most. So
like I said, I had 3 dreams to talk about.
Okay.
This one's one that it was just a weird dream. Didn't make any sense, really. I mean, well, it made sense, but the setting didn't make sense.
Okay.
So I was working in an old school building in a downtown area.
Okay.
I wasn't a teacher or anything like that. I just worked there. I don't know what I did. I wasn't like a janitor or anything like that.
I was going to say, were you janitor?
No. But the place did need a lot of renovations.
Mm.
Like, there was all kinds of stuff that was, like, messed up in it. Like, I guess it was, like, 3 stories tall, this school building, you know? And it was, like I said, it was in downtown. Like, you could look out the windows and see other skyscrapers and stuff. We had hired a team of plumbers to come in and change out all the pipes and plumbing and stuff for the bathrooms and stuff like that.
Okay.
And one of my things that I was supposed to be doing was watching this one plumber while he was up in like the 3rd story bathroom changing out all the pipes. That's my whole thing. Was I was just supposed to be watching him do it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like I'm watching him and we're like shooting the shit, you know, talking. He's changing pipes and stuff like that. And then for some reason, out of the corner of my eye, I see behind us, water starts coming in under the door.
Oh, no.
And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. We're in the bathroom right now. Like, why would water be coming into the bathroom instead of from the bathroom?
Oh, no.
I walked over, I pulled the door open, and there's a fireman out there. And he was like, yeah, there was a fire. The building was on fire. Did you guys not know? And that's what all the water was from the hoses putting the fire out. And he was like, did you guys not know there was a fire? And I was like, no. And I looked at like the other guy and he was like, I didn't know shit. And we were in this 3rd story bathroom. We just didn't know. He was like, yeah, you guys got to get out of here. Like, it's not safe to be in here anymore.
Yeah, you fucking idiots.
And so when we start leaving, there are several ways that you could get out, but none of them are safe. Like, there's holes in the floor that you could just jump down through because it's been burned away and stuff. Or you could climb out the window onto, like, the fire escape and go down that way.
Oh, no.
There was a big stairwell in the middle of the place. It's all made out of wood and everything like that. But it was all pretty rotten and creaky and stuff like that. So that is the way that I chose to go down, though. But that was it. Like, go ahead.
Oh, that was it. That's all you remember?
Yeah, I get to the bottom. That was everything. Like, there wasn't anything else after that.
Oh my gosh.
But the staircase was. I remember one thing about the staircase. It was like really wide. It was like 10 feet wide, and it was like super ornate and like all made out of wood. Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway,
that's not the first time you remember details about a staircase in a dream.
Staircases are nice. I like staircases. I don't like climbing stairs. Maybe that's what it was. I was like, damn it, fucking stairs. And I saw the stairs. I was like, damn, no, I don't like this.
So I was going to say, if this were reality, you were like several floors up in a building, and you knew there was a fire going on. You had the option between the fire escape or the wooden stairs or jumping through a floor. What would awake sober Dustin do?
I would take the fire escape.
Fire escape. All right, good.
I'm not 100% sure that it would be the best option.
Yeah.
But it is what I would do for sure. Because wooden stairs after a fire plus like all that water from the no thank you. And I'm definitely not jumping anywhere.
That makes sense.
So
I feel like that's the same choice.
Yeah. And most of those like fire escapes, they're made out of like iron or steel or whatever, so they're pretty sturdy, right?
Yeah, they're like metal.
Yeah, they're metal.
Some sort of metal.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about a dream.
Oh, real quick. I did have another dream that I didn't write down, but that's because it literally was so short. I was in charge of a bunch of bees, and the only thing I remember about it was I had this honey tracker that I had. Like I was like, I would take honey out of the thing and then stamp it onto this page so that I could see when they made so much honey, the bees.
Okay.
And that's all I remember. It was like I was marking how much honey the bees were making.
You were the honey tracker.
Yeah.
What a strange dream.
Yeah. I don't even like bees. I do like honey, though.
I like honey. A little bit. I did try raw honey from a comb.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big fan. But it came out of a little, container that was pretty thick in plastic. So I don't know how good of a quality that might have been. So, if it was fresh from a honeycomb, maybe I would have liked it.
Just bite right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be good.
Straight with bees flying around and everything. Might have caught a bee or two in my mouth, too. That might be good. Just
take their whole hive and just bite into it.
I mean, I've seen that shit on Naked and Afraid. For real, though. Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, that show's fucking crazy, apparently.
Yeah, it is. I was a pretty big fan of that show. Alright, there's another one. But I don't want to talk about that one until I talk about this one, because I forgot to give the title of this one. Okay, so. This one I'm going to title D&D Return Hunt.
Okay.
Okay. I dreamt this recently. It was only a couple nights ago, and I told my mom about it. And I dreamt... Okay, so the dream starts out with me on the porch of my home. The home looks nothing like my current home in reality. I have carpenter's home? Crafter's home? Craftsman.
Yes.
Craftsman style home, and I was on my porch. And do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was on my porch, and I was
I'm just kidding.
Fuck. It's like now
I get it. I get it. No, I was kidding.
Okay, I'll show you later. Anyway, so I was on my porch, and I was waiting for my party to show up, my D&D players, to arrive, because I was hosting. And you all started walking up and included my regular party. So it included you, Dustin, Emily, Uncle, Nesto, Brandon, and a handful of a couple of more people that I don't recognize in real life, but there were more people involved in this D&D session that I was hosting. And I had the jitters, like I had butterflies, because I hadn't hosted in a while in my dream, which is not dissimilar to what just occurred today, because I haven't hosted in a while in real life either. So I was feeling the jitterbugs. And in my dream, I knew I had nothing planned. There was nothing. So I was like, well, fuck. What am I going to do? And I decided to go on with this TikTok viral thing that had been going around in my dream, not in real life, where the DM, the dungeon master, would send their players characters on a scavenger hunt around the home that they're hosting in, around the area that they're hosting in.
Oh.
But it's like a real scavenger hunt. So they'd actually have to walk around whatever area they're in. In this case, in my dream, it was my home. So I was like, so your task is today, party, now that you were all in my lobby area, which I don't have in real life. I must have been rich. I must have been rich in my dream.
You have a vestibule.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a small area between the front door and any major room.
Okay. So, yeah, it was like a vestibule.
Vestibule. Vestibule. This is the part of the podcast where we just say vestibule.
Vestibule. So everybody was in my vestibule.
Vestibule. What is wrong with you?
Everybody was in my vegetable.
Oh.
That sounds wrong. That sounds naughty.
Yeah, it did.
Everybody was in my vestibule. Vestibule. All right. Dustin is currently showing me the definition of it.
And how to spell it.
The area between the entry door and the whatever.
And the interior building.
Okay, so in my vestibule.
Anyway. Tell your fucking story. Making fun of my fucking vocabulary.
Alright. It was pretty large in my dream. It was not as big as my current vestibule. It's got to be the size of my living room. It had to be like 20 by 20 in my dream. So it was quite large, and everybody in the party, which was like 5, about 10 people, maybe 10 or 11 people, in there, listening to me, the DM, give them their first orders for this session, or the first directions. And everybody took it to heart. Everybody took it seriously. So what I said was, your goal is to find as many D&D related items in this house that you can.
Oh, fuck.
But you cannot look in the bathroom. That's off limits. The bathrooms are off limits.
Oh, okay.
And Alice's room, the boys' room, is off limits. So they were limited to the rest of the house, which was an upstairs and a downstairs, minus the bathrooms in the house and the bedrooms of my kids. But everywhere else was free game, and they could look inside of anything that they wished. So, and I said to the players that the more, depending on what items they brought back to me, that would determine the points that they were awarded for the beginning of this session. So, which doesn't make sense in real life because, like,
sure it does.
Experience works differently in D&D, but I mean, I suppose I could probably work it in some kind of way if I wanted to do that if I wanted to do that in real life, but I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it if I were to try it out in real life. So everybody took it to heart. They started searching around the house, and people started bringing back things that were just laying around in my bedroom that had to do with D&D. So people brought the dice back to me. They brought like little miniatures that they found. They brought dice bags, the map, anything that we used to play with D&D. Everybody seemed to find, well, at least a handful of people seemed to find. And as they brought it back, I awarded them points. I was like, "Oh, you found the gobbledygook. This gobbledygook is worth 20 points. Congratulations!" And they took it to heart, and they were like, "Oh, thank you. This is awesome. This is great." And as that continued to happen, I kept awarding more and more points. And that's all I remember from that dream.
Wow.
Didn't get into the actual campaign. Then again, I didn't prepare anything except for that scavenger hunt, which took quite a bit of time in my dream.
Yeah.
And that's all I remember. So,
so now you said there was another dream that you wanted to tell after you told that dream.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's related, we should just go ahead and go right into it, I think.
It's not really.
It's not related?
No.
Then what? Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to ask because you have your reasons, I guess. Okay. Also, fuck you, vestibule. Just throwing that out.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, so if it makes you feel any better, I learned vestibule because I used to work at Blockbuster. And we had a vestibule, and we had to clean the vestibules. Anyway.
So Dustin's skilled in cleaning vegetables.
Not vegetables. Yeah, fuck.
Skilled in cleaning vesticles.
that was dangerously close to testicle. All right. So my next dream that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and do the short one. It was so short. So I was dreaming that I was going to go to the beach. It was just going to be me and my dad going, right? Okay. So we had gotten everything packed and getting ready, and I was making a mental note that I was going to take my camera and, all this other shit, and we get everything packed and in the car, and he's driving for some reason, which would never happen anymore. Like, I'm driving if we're going anywhere. But we get 20 minutes down the road, and I was like, fuck, we got to turn around. I forgot my camera. Oh, and then, yeah. And so he was like, okay. He was super understanding. And when we turned around, that's when I woke up. That was the whole dream.
Jeez.
Like, yeah. It wasn't super eventful or anything, but I just remember being like super upset. I was like, damn it. And like, what?
You're driving down there.
He was driving.
He was driving down there for the purpose of.
Well, no, we were just going to go hang out at the beach for a while. But I took my camera because I know that there are sites that I wanted to take photos of and different things that I wanted to take photos of while we were there.
Yeah.
And because we usually go to Galveston, and the Bishop's Palace is down there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff on Seawall to look at. There's an old graveyard that I would like to take photos of.
Okay.
It's like over 100 years old.
Oh.
Yeah. It's cool. But anyway, but yeah, and then we just had to turn around.
Over 100 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Quite old.
Well, it was over 100 years old like 20 years ago. So it's like probably 140 or 160 years old by now.
Huh.
Okay.
That's interesting because, like, well, that is interesting.
Well, I mean, Galveston was, I think, only founded in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, because there's a a cemetery in Red Oak that I frequent for morbid curiosity / relaxing, because I find cemeteries very relaxing.
I do too.
I don't find them at all alarming or shocking or scary.
I have other weird things that I like to talk about with cemeteries, but we're not going to talk about them on the podcast. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, I find it very relaxing just
Me
to
too.
be there. At the cemetery near the high school that I teach at, there are headstones from the 1800s. I don't think I've seen one before 1830 though. And I've always wondered if, well, I feel like maybe when, like those are, the headstones are of the lives of the people who are buried there,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not necessarily when the cemetery itself came to be. So it's got to be after.
Well, I mean, generally, like whatever the death date is, means they were probably buried that year there. So you can look at whatever the oldest death date is and be like, okay, this is when that cemetery was probably founded.
Which is, I don't think I've seen one later than or earlier than the 1900s, like maybe 1903, 1900, right around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like going into cemeteries and seeing the dates on the headstones.
See, I don't really do the whole dates thing, but I do like just kind of sitting and hanging out in cemeteries.
I do that.
Which, I guess is kind of weird because, people are like, oh, it's a bunch of dead people. But not really. It's just bones at that point.
There are.
Mostly.
Unless you are like those people online who see in the, it's some kind of map app where they can see people, in quotations, roaming about or present nearby.
Did you see the thing where like Bluetooth signals were coming from headstones?
Yeah. I think that's what I was talking
about. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's strange, but all right.
All right, another dream okay, so I titled this one Old Friends Fires. This is what I titled the dream. Old Friends Fires. Old Friends Fires.
Yes, Old Friends Fires
was the name of this dream. I remember I was riding my bike on the way to my friend's house. She's my old friend. In my dream, she was my older friend. And I don't know why, because I was a teenager then. We're friends as teenagers. But anyways, I was riding down a longer street that led to her shorter street off of the main road. And as I neared, there was an awareness of the apocalypse happening. So all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, it's the apocalypse? I need to fucking hurry my ass up and get to a safe spot. And the safest spot was her house, because my house was further away in comparison from where I was. And so as I was pulling up to her house on my bicycle, there were fireballs raining down from the skies. They weren't terribly sized fireballs. They weren't like catastrophic, like real apocalyptic fireballs. No, they were like maybe little snowball sized fireballs. So they set like a little bush on fire.
Oh yeah.
Falling down, they set another little bush on fire.
Little baby fireball. Yeah. Little baby fireball.
Little baby fireball. And there's a little patch of grass on fire as well. And we're like, oh shit, we need to put this out. So as I arrived, like her and her whole house were also noticing that fireballs were raining down from the skies. And so they were also in a panic. And so they were trying to bring out some water, and they were going to pull out the hose and start spraying it with water to temper the flames that were threatening to burn the place down. And then all of a sudden rain clouds started appearing, around us, and we knew there was an impending storm coming, and the rain started pouring. We were like, oh, thank God. The rain
Started
will help
putting out
us.
the fire.
Yeah, they started putting out the fires, and I went inside, and that's all I remember from that dream.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for more.
Well, you know how I do with the
Yeah, I mean that's
unfinished
kind of
dreams.
it's kind of the way we both are.
Yeah.
We just don't ever finish our dreams.
Incomplete in that way.
Oh well. All right. Well, recommendations.
Recommendation.
Recommendations.
Recommendation. I lost my voice for a second.
Yeah, I heard that. All right. Do you have your recommendation ready?
I do.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. I was in suspense there.
Mine is of a book that I have not completely read so far. I might be in the first maybe 20 or 30 pages. And it is called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I think it's a newer book. Yeah, I think so. It's a newer book. But I can't spoil anything for you because I'm not past the first 20 or 30 pages. So let me tell you what the premise is. The premise is exactly what the title is of. There is a male narrator who maintains at the very beginning of the book that everyone in his family has killed someone. And it also gives a list of page numbers. And it says to mark this page by folding the top right corner of it. So it even has a little dotted line to mark where you should fold the top right corner, just like insane people do for their books. Hint, hint, I'm insane. So did I fold the corner? Yes. So on that page is marked where significant events in the book happen and the page number it occurs on. And those events include deaths. So I won't tell you how many numbers there are because that might be spoiling something. I don't know, but it is in the very beginning of the book, which I found quite interesting. So included in the premise is that the read of this book is as if the main character, is the author. So the main character is seemingly as the audience, as a reader, is speaking to you, the reader. So they're like telling you who they are and telling you who their family is and telling you their perspective of the story. And they also openly admit that it's very meta because they openly admit how, like, in most books, the narrator is not to be trusted.
Right.
And they maintain that this is not the case for them. So, like, they start building the case for the reader to buy in to how real or how true their story is from their perspective. So, I find that very, very intriguing. And even though it gives the page numbers of deaths that occur, I want to know how all these deaths happen. And I want to know why it's happening in only this guy's family. So I'm hooked.
All right.
So check it out if you're into true crime, if you're into thriller, mystery, especially. Check it out. Everyone in my family has killed someone.
It sounds really interesting. Like, I might actually want to read that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't technically read a lot. You know, I usually listen to audiobooks. Yeah, so I definitely would want to check that out. But all right. So everyone in my family has killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my recommendation is going to be a movie, and this is not something I would normally recommend
Okay.
just because it's so ridiculous. But I found out something about it the other day, and I was like, huh, now I need to watch it with a renewed knowledge.
A renewed sense of vigor.
National Lampoon's Van Wilder with Ryan
Okay.
Reynolds. Yeah.
Okay.
So the movie is about a guy who is going to, college, but he's not going to college to actually learn anything. He's just going to college to like party. That's his whole thing. Is he is the party guy on campus.
Is this the Wiener one?
No, that's accepted.
Oh, okay.
The wiener one. Anyway, make it sound like a porn.
Yeah, funny that you know what I was talking about.
Yeah. Well, because you also did the hand motion.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so Ryan Reynolds plays Van Wilder, and he's in college to just have fun and party. He still gets good grades and everything.
Okay.
But that's only so that he can stay in college and continue like having fun.
Mm-hmm.
He'll fail like certain things so that he can't pass. You know what I mean? So like he'll stay for years and years and years.
Okay.
Right. The thing that I found out about it is that it's technically based on Bert Kreischer's life when he was going to Florida State.
Jesus.
Yeah. This is before Bert Kreischer was known as the Machine, before Bert Kreischer got famous on the internet for that kind of stuff. He had an article written about him in Rolling Stone magazine while he was in college,
mm-hmm.
because he was the biggest partier in the state of the United States at college.
Wow.
Yeah. And so Rolling Stone wrote a whole thing about him, and then they optioned his life as a movie, and it became Van Wilder.
Oh, fuck. That fucking guy was something.
Yeah, apparently. So.
Jesus.
Now I need to go back and rewatch it. I own it from forever ago because I have a man crush on Ryan Reynolds and have forever. So I have to rewatch it.
All right. National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
Yes.
Check it out.
All right. Well, I think we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Congratulations to us.
Yay.
We made it through another long podcast.
Hit us with the outro, Dustin.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our Patreon tier that we have. It's $5. And that just helps to keep the channel running.
Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible.
And you can find us on the socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I don't think we have a Facebook. Anyway, we're on YouTube.
It'll be in the works. Email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com. Feel free to send us your dreams that we can talk about.
Yeah, and then we can judge you for it.
And enjoy, and a little bit of judging, yeah.
All right, well, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you again. Bye.
Bye.
So, thunderclouds started appearing, rain started pouring. We were frantically trying to get water out of her hose or out of her sink before the rain started pouring down. And we're like, oh, thank God. The rain's going to get it all.
Here comes the rain again.
Yep.
Falling on my head like a memory.
Exactly.
Falling on my head like a new emotion.
Yep. And you lost me.
Here comes the rain again. Falling on my head like a memory. Falling on my head like a new emotion. That's the Eurythmics. How do you not know? Oh my God.
I'm
so disappointed in you.
It's not a thing.
It is.
Fake.
Annie Lennox.
Fake.
You know, the girl that did Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Who am I? Yeah, same band.
Oh.
Eurythmics. How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
How dare you?